Well, hello there and welcome back to the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel, where today I'll be giving you my prediction for Hull City versus Stoke City, which is kicking off tomorrow night live at the MKM at 7:45. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, this one, after no football over the weekend for the mourning period of Queen Elizabeth II's death. But we're back with football this Tuesday night. So in this video I'll be going over my scoreline prediction, who I think will start for Hull City, and a bit of extra information about both sides heading into this clash, which will hopefully return us back to our winning ways. So let's get into my Hull City starting lineup. So in goal, I do think Matt Ingram will just narrow a start. I was weighing up very heavily between him and Nathan Baxter. But I think that Matt Ingram, especially after this week's, just over a week's long rest period since the QPR game, I think that he just edges Nathan Baxter, although it could really go any way, considering that Matt Ingram did have a very poor performance against QPR, letting in some very, very easy goals, especially that first one. If you haven't seen it, it was just a shocker for him to let in. So yeah, I think that Matt Ingram just edges it over Nathan Baxter. Heading into the three centre-backs, because I'm going for a five at the back. So the three centre-backs, it's the classic Alfie Jones, Tobias Figueiredo, and also Jacob Greaves, whose birthday it is today. I just want to wish him a happy birthday. But it's an interesting back three, considering that Alfie Jones, he's not been having the best of performances for the most recent part. I think that it's an interesting back three compared that we've got Sean McLaughlin on the bench, who whenever he's been coming off the bench in recent games, he's been working so hard, and I think that he deserves a start. But the back three, I don't see Shota changing his mind. So I do think that Sean McLaughlin will start on the bench, and that it will be this back three here. Although I do think that off Alfie Jones and also Tobias Figueiredo's recent performances, I do think that Sean McLaughlin could nip in front of one of them. But out of Shota's mind, I do think that this is how it will look at. For majority, we're talking about 60 minutes of the game, as long as there is no injuries or were absolutely shocking or whatever happens. But I do think that majority of the performance tomorrow will be with this back three, and then Sean McLaughlin possibly getting rotation in, and then maybe, depending on the performances, looking at a start for next weekend's game against Swansea away. But then moving on to the wing-backs, we've got the classic Louis Coyle, our captain, and then Callum Elder over on the left-hand side. Callum Elder had a very strong performance against Sheffield United in the last game, so I think that he's definitely tipped to start here. It's again at the home crowd, so we should be sparing him on. But yeah, he made a very strong performance in the Sheffield United game, one of the very strongest performances on the pitch, and it wasn't that strong compared to recent performances for the squad. So yeah, Callum Elder over on the left-hand side, and then Louis Coyle on the right-hand side, hoping for a bit of magic. But then obviously this is subject to change because we are getting some of that squad rotation back in after the injuries and also through the late transfers on deadline day. Moving into the midfield now, we've got two CDMs. And it's sounding even more likely that Jean-Michael Sarri will start. He came on for an appearance against Sheffield United, not looking the best, but after this weeks long rest period, I think that he should be fit enough to start, play a solid 60 minutes, if not a bit more. So yeah, I've gone for Jean-Michael Sarri, and then also the 50 grand man, Regan Slater. Unfortunately, he didn't do enough against Sheffield United to even get himself on the score sheet, because that would have just been the icing on the cake if Regan Slater got himself on the score sheet after coming to us for 50 grand from Sheffield United, which was an absolute bargain. So yeah, I've gone for them two in the central defensive midfield slot. And then coming up into like sort of the front three, wingers, cams, it varies depending on how we're playing and what style the other team is playing. But I've gone for Ozan Tufan to make another appearance after coming off the injury list. So yeah, Ozan Tufan, a fantastic player, and hopefully he can grab himself a few more goals and assists in this game and the games to come. And then Ryan Longman, I think that he should start because Benjamin Tete He's out injured after suffering a blow in, I think, the 16th minute against Sheffield United, which looks like to be a somewhat serious injury, although he's being called up to Ghana's international side for the most recent international appearances. So he could be fitter than we think. There's no real wording on it, but he's definitely not going to start this game. So yeah, I've gone for Ryan Longman out on that side, which he hasn't had the best performances since signing that long-term deal with the club back in the January transfer window last year. So I'm hoping that he does pick up performances and we do see some of what the old Ryan Longman was when he was scoring screamers in like the 3rd minute against Bristol City. Hopefully he can pick up to that form. And then the big man up top, Oscar Estupiñán. He's still the Championship's leading goal scorer, Championship's leading goal contributor. So yeah, I think that he should start, of course. And you'll just have to wait and see whether I think that he is going to grab himself any more goals or assists later in the video. So stay tuned for that. But let's move on to a bit of information about both sides. Okay, so heading into this match, we're currently sitting 12th in the Championship after having a bit of a dip in recent form, not even picking up a win in the last 5 games, whereas Stoke City are sitting a little bit below us in 20th, which is a bit more than a bit, but early on in the season that is really basically a win away from each other in these early stages of the season. So yeah, it's going to be a somewhat closest match. We've definitely had a very hard start to the season, playing a lot of the title favourites and also promotion favourites, so it's going to be a very, very toss and turn game in my eyes. Coming off the recent form, the lads will want to get a positive start, especially under this home performance, after having, dare I say, a negative performance against Sheffield United a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's going to be a very tough game. Considering last season, I know we've got a new squad, but I like to talk about it. We did lose 2-0 to them both times, both in the home leg and the away leg. And obviously in the home leg, Sam Klukas grabbing himself 2 assists, which wasn't to the best of eyes of Hull City players, considering he didn't do that much for us when he was at the club compared to what he's doing now at Stoke. So yeah, hopefully we won't see another 2-0 appearance in Stoke's favour. You just have to wait and see what you think my prediction's going to be. But let's talk about top players. Oscar Estupiñán, current Championship leading goal scorer. I think that Stoke's leading goal scorer only has 3 goals compared to Estupiñán's 7. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully an Estupiñán run show. Hopefully he bags himself a few more goals and hopefully we come out with the win. So let's move on to my official prediction. Okay, so for this game, I do think it's going to be a 2-0 win. I do think that we will edge it. I think that we'll be possession dominant, not really fortunate in front of goal, having a few chances missed, various things like that. But I do think we're going to come out on top with a 2-goal win. So yeah, Estupiñán, of course he's going to bag himself on the score sheet. Of course he's going to score first. He is a master. And then the second goal, I'm really tossing and turning between who I think will grab the second goal. But I do think that if Dimitrios Pelkas either starts or comes off the bench, I think he's going to grab himself a goal. He made such a powerful start when he came on for them few minutes against Sheffield United. He really changed the game up. He's such a fantastic player. And I tip him to grab maybe a goal in this game. But hopefully we do come out with the victory. But yeah, Dimitrios Pelkas grabbing the second one and Estupiñán with the first. So let me know down in the comments what you think the score will be for this game and who you think will score, and any little bits of information that you agree or disagree with in this video, let me know down below. But make sure you like and subscribe so you stay tuned to this YouTube channel for the Stoke City reaction after the game tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But this has been the Hull City Fan Central YouTube channel. Goodbye.